All right, so welcome everyone. This is building a fall 2024 course schedule. Majors in the School of Social Sciences, Humanities, and Arts, otherwise affectionately called SHAW here at UC Merced. This information is being presented by the Bobcat Advising Center. My name is Nora Garcia and I am an academic advisor. I'll go ahead and let my colleague introduce herself as well.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Maria Ceja. I'm also an academic advisor here at the Bobcat Advising Center. So welcome to our presentation.
So first, we're going to cover a couple of things here. First, we'll introduce who exactly we are at UC Merced, the overview of the School of Shaw, registration information as we're getting ready to begin registration later on this month. We'll give information of what is called the catalog, which is essentially the full information of the majors that are offered here at UC Merced, specifically the ones that are housed under Shaw. Understanding requirements at UC Merced, including but not limited to the units, GE requirements, writing and Spark, and school and major requirements. We also have a class level of placement, which is essentially referring to the placement exams that you might have already completed or heard about, any previous exams that you've completed or about to complete, AP, IB exams, or any classes that you have completed at other institutions that are going to transfer over to UC Merced. Summer program opportunities, a demonstration on how to navigate the My Degree Path website, additional resources, back summer support, and of course, how to stay connected with us. So to begin, who exactly is BAC, the Bobcat Advising Center? So we are the academic advising home for all first-year students, regardless of major, and all lower division undeclared transfers and any continuing students who might be undeclared of any class year. So we like to say that we've got your back since we are the essentially first UC Merced staff that you come into contact with besides admissions and enrollment, of course. We have different opportunities throughout the academic year, such as workshops, walk-in advising, and of course, connecting you with the appropriate resources that you may or may not have already learned about here at UC Merced. So overall, we are here to support you as you begin your first steps at a university environment, and of course, wanting to support you in your career goals. So School of Shaw is very unique in the sense that it houses the majority of majors here at UC Merced. You'll notice that there is a plethora already included in this page. We have a few new degrees, such as the Environmental Humanities BA, Public Health BS, and Public Health Pre-Med Emphasis BS. Of course, we will not cover all of these degrees in detail, but we will go ahead and review the catalog very shortly, just to demonstrate how to navigate the catalog and show the additional information that is included with all of these degrees. What is very cool about the catalog website at UC Merced is that it includes a 4-year sample plan for all of the degrees listed, and we'll go ahead and navigate that together. But something else that we want to quickly address is that at UC Merced, you might see the title undeclared or undeclared Shaw. So if you're a current undeclared Shaw or undeclared, what those titles mean is that undeclared means that you are generally exploring all majors housed in, regardless of the school. If you are what is called undeclared Shaw, it means that you are interested in or leaning into declaring a major in the School of Shaw, but not exactly certain which one yet. So in order to declare your major, you will have to submit what is called the major change form. You might have already received an email listing information about it. As of the recording, the priority deadline to submit your change of major form is tomorrow, June 7th, so that it reflects on your academic records on time before course registration. The purpose for the June 7th deadline is so that it gives your academic advisor an idea of which courses to select for the fall 24 semester. And let's say that you're still contemplating it. Tomorrow seems really quick to make a decision. That is totally fine. The reason for the deadline, like I said, is just to give your academic advisor a general idea of which classes to select. But even after the June 7th deadline, you could always remain in communication with your academic advisor so that they maintain updated in regards to your career interests, academic interests, and help you select the right courses according to your end goals. And so before we transition to the important dates and deadlines, I did want to go ahead and give that navigation demonstration with the catalog. So bear with me for 1 second. I'll go ahead and just pull up that slide or that webpage for you. So this is the home for the catalog of the 24-25 academic year. So what the year is referring to is essentially when you began your journey here at UC Merced. If you click on the toggle search window, it'll show all of the archived catalogs from previous years. It should default to the current year of the 24-25, but just in case you ever are selected under a different year, you could always click here and it'll show you all of the catalog years. So 24-25 catalog year. On the left, you'll notice all of these options for information on all the majors offered at UC Merced. You're going to click on academic programs, and it's going to give you the list of all the majors housed at UC Merced, separated by the school that they're housed under. So you'll notice we have our School of Engineering, School of Natural Sciences, and then finally the School of Social Sciences, Humanities, and Arts. For the purposes of time and just for a quick demonstration, we're going to pick on psychology with the emphasis in health psychology BA option. So once we select it, it's going to show us the breakdown of the major requirements, the total units that are required for each section. But at the very top, and this is included in all of the majors that you select on the catalog, there is a 4-year course sample plan. So once we click it, it's going to show a sample 4-year course plan. And the reason that I emphasize the sample 4-year course plan is because your 4 years under this major might look a little bit different, and that's okay. This is just a sample plan to give you a general idea of what your 4 years at UC Merced is going to look like. And it gives you a better sense of which courses need to be completed before the other courses in the sequence. So we'll go ahead and switch back to the presentation. 1 second again as I transition back to the presentation. Okay, and going on to the important dates and deadlines, we wanted to, oh, excuse me, there's something on my page. Okay. Okay, it's clear. There was something on my page, but it's cleared up now. Excuse me. So moving on to the important dates and deadlines. So as you'll notice this week, as registration begins, you'll be assigned what is called a time ticket. So essentially a time ticket houses the registration date and time of when you can register for the fall semester. And it gives you a QR code of where to access this information, but also the steps listed on where to find your time ticket. For Wednesday, August 28th is when the fall instruction actually begins, so when classes start. The Tuesday, September 3rd deadline is referring to when students can ultimately add classes online without instructor approval through the convenience of your registration portal. After September 3rd, the September 4th date is what opens the late add form. It does require an instructor permission to add a course. They are not obligated to approve, so it is up to the discretion whether or not they approve or deny your request. You can still drop classes, by the way, but you are unable to add without the add form with the additional permission from the professor. Something that you may have already been aware of is that 12 units triggers full-time status. So we caution students when they are considering dropping below 12 units at UC Merced due to financial aid purposes. And finally, the September 18th deadline is ultimately the last day that students are able to drop classes online via the registration portal access, and also the last day to add a course online, even with instructor permission. And this is just an additional navigation assistance with the UC Merced catalog. So you'll be able to see what we had demonstrated before as a glance at what the catalog looks like, at the additional information that's included in it. What I had chosen to demonstrate was just a small portion of what you can find on the catalog. So the academic programs, the four-year course plans for the majors. This is especially helpful for those of you who are still undeclared, or even undeclared SHA, so you can get a better awareness of the majors and degrees that are offered here at UC Merced. As well as academic status. So the three types of academic standings that are at UC Merced, the policies revolving around course repetition, what is deans and chancellors list titles, how can you accomplish it, and of course the academic calendar information. We encourage you especially to look at the academic calendar if you are considering dropping courses, if you're maybe interested in registering for courses that you are interested in, but maybe your degree doesn't require it. Please be mindful of the last day to drop classes. And of course, finally, the course descriptions. If you're interested in registering for a course but want to know more about it, you could also find that option in the UC Merced catalog. So for general education and enrollment requirements, for first year students, there are a few required courses that you need to have completed by the end of your second semester at UC Merced, or at the end of your first year here at UC Merced. One of them is called the SPARK policy. So to fulfill the SPARK requirement policy, you need to have completed either SPARK 10 or SPARK 1. The difference really boils down to the material that's included in SPARK 10 versus SPARK 1, as well as the amount of units. So SPARK 10 courses are typically geared towards engineering majors, whereas Spark 1 is the majority that students will complete at their time here at UC Merced. You'll notice that Spark 10 has 2 units versus Spark 1 is 4 units. The number of units doesn't matter in the sense of it's not a required number of units that you have completed. As long as you complete either Spark 1 or Spark 10, you will fulfill the Spark requirement. So even though Spark 10 is geared more for engineering students, you're more than welcome to register for Spark 10 as well. As for the entry-level writing requirement, otherwise you might hear it called LWAR, is referring to the Writing 1 course, Writing 001. This course must be completed with a C or higher in fall or spring semester during your first year, in comparison to the SPARK class, which requires at least a C- or higher. Something also that we do want to address is the unit enrollment at UC Merced. So although 12 units might be the number that students are more familiar with, since it triggers full-time status for financial aid purposes, we encourage students to take 14 to 16 units, which is about roughly 4 classes per semester, in order to meet what is called the normal progress policy to maintain on track to graduate. Maximum enrollment that students can enroll in is 18 units per semester. So right there, you'll see the quick calculation of the normal progress policy. Students are required to complete a minimum of 120 units, in addition to whatever additional units their major requires is 120 units. In the School of Shaw, you are given up to 9 semesters to complete your degree and graduation requirements, so about roughly 4.5 years. Okay, and then for the UC Merced placement exams, you might have already been aware of this information or may have already completed them at this time. So you'll notice all the subjects that are available in terms of placement. So we have all of these exams ready for free at UC Merced. At the end of the day, you are welcome to complete these exams or not. However, be advised that taking these exams do not hurt you, in the sense that it can only benefit you. Students having to students who are required to take a math course, depending on your major, you could bypass the preparatory Math 5 class and be placed into Math 21 or 11 or 12, depending on your major. And the same goes for the other subjects in the placement exams. And you'll notice, especially on the bottom for writing 1 or writing 10, let's say that you take the writing placement exam, you could fulfill the writing 1 LWAR requirement and immediately begin at writing 10. Keep in mind that the math placement exam is required if you intend to pursue a major with math courses or pre-health pathway. But we encourage students to take the placement exams, even if it's not necessarily geared towards your major, such as the computer science and engineering, since in the future, students might consider changing majors. That requires a computer science and engineering course. As to where you can find your scores that resulted from the placement exams or your AP scores that were officially sent in, this is where you can find the scores that were submitted. So under your student profile, you would click on the testing tab that's located on the left side. So this is a great picture, and also, again, reiterating the QR code of where you can find this information. So at this time, I will go ahead and hand over the rest of the presentation to my colleague, Maria Ceja, to conclude this presentation information.
Thank you, Nora. So we're going to be moving on to talking a little bit about what courses you want to prioritize in your first semester. Again, as Nora had shared, placement exams will determine what level of specific courses you might be eligible for. But again, just as a general idea for the first semester, you want to prioritize writing 1 or writing 10, Spark 1, Math 5 or Math 8, Math 11 or Math 21. Again, it's depending on the placement exam and also the specific major that you're choosing that requires that specific math course. And then the other thing there listed is a required course within your major. So this basically means that a lot of the Shaw majors require an introductory course. So some examples listed there are Psych 1 for Psych majors, or a lower division history course for history majors. So that could be, a full schedule already for fall semester. One thing that you'll note at the bottom that we have two specific annotations there. For Psych majors, Math 8 is a recommended prerequisite to complete for Psych 10. So Psych 10 would be the next sequential course you'll take after completion of Math 8. Math 8 is a new course. So this course was created to assist you with the foundational knowledge that you'll need to succeed in that Psych 10. So that's where we recommend that Math 8. Please keep in mind, again, if you are considering a pre-health pathway, then this is where you would choose that Math 5 to allow you to have access to that Math 11, Math 12 for those specific programs that you would need for pre-health. And then if you have more questions about, which courses would be the best option specifically for Math 8 or Math 5, definitely connect with your academic advisor in summer, and they can provide you and guide you a little bit more information on which course would be best for you. And then the other thing listed there is that if your Shaw major does not require math, then you can substitute this course with a general education course that was listed on your My Degree path, also known as MDP. And you can look at general education requirements or elective courses that might be good options to take to get a full schedule for fall semester. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to move on to looking at the My Degree Path demo. So with My Degree Path, this tool is going to be very, very helpful for you to learn how to use. You're going to be experts once you graduate on this specific tool. But this keeps track of your academic progress in the next 4 years. So we'll let you know, what courses you completed, which courses you still need to plan for, and then give you ideas of what other courses you might be able to take to have full schedules every semester. One thing that you'll note is that My Degree Path is also on your Connect portal, so you have to log in into your Connect portal to be able to find My Degree Path. And then as shown in this specific slide, you can see my degree path listed with that map icon. And so what we're going to go ahead and do is do the demo. We're going to go ahead and do the demonstration for both the audit and the plan. So my colleague Nora is going to help us navigate that while I explain that information. All right, thank you, Nora. So what we did here is we used a test student. So as you can see the number there, that's just to give us a little bit more information on a specific audit or plan. But what you're seeing here on the screen is a declared program at the bottom where it says undecided, undeclared. And so what we want to do is we want to change that, and we want to actually look for a specific major so we can go through that audit together. When we click on programs, we can we're going to go ahead and click psychology. And then we're actually going to choose, once we find psychology, they're listed. We're going to choose catalog year fall of 2024, again, because that's when you will start here at UC Merced. And the other thing that we're going to choose is a concentration. So that is also known as an emphasis. And we're going to choose health psychology as the emphasis. Now, please note that as a student, if your major does not require an emphasis, you don't have to declare an emphasis. That is just an option that you have as a student if you want to get an extra, knowledge to prepare for your career path. Now that the audit is loaded, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the top part first. So here you have a lot of different visuals that allows you to keep track of your academic progress, as I mentioned earlier. So it will keep track of your major requirements, your general education requirements, and it will total up those units to see if you're at the minimum of 120 units that are required for graduation. What we're going to do is we're going to open all sections, and then we're going to go ahead and just scroll throughout the audit. And as you can see, there is some specific lines that break down those sections. So when you're looking at that specific audit, you'll notice that you're entering different categories or different sections that you need to complete. So if we keep scrolling down, you'll be able to see that it is shown throughout the whole audit. And then if we keep going down all the way to the end, we'll see also that they provide some information about legend to keep track of what courses you completed. So if you completed courses, the audit will be, you start tracking those in green. If you're planning courses for future semesters, that color will turn into purple. The courses that are currently in progress or you register for, the system will recognize that, and those colors will be in blue. And then any courses that are unfulfilled will be in red. So as you can see, the audit at this point is in red. So there's quite a few courses that need to be completed for this test student. And if we go all the way back to the top, we're going to actually go ahead and close all sections and just look at only a particular few sections to cover some requirements there. We're going to start off with the University of California requirements. So again, here you can see that we have two specific requirements that all students have to complete despite of major. So that would be the LWAR requirement, which is the writing one, and the American History Institution requirement. Again, for writing one, you do have to complete this requirement no later than your first year. And then another thing that's pretty neat about the audit is if you click on that writing one course, it's going to open up a dialog box, and that specific dialog box will provide information of the course description, and then it will provide information of if there's any prerequisites to take the course, and then also it will let you know if the course is being taught in that specific semester. So that's going to be a really great tool to use to learn a little bit more about the courses. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and open up the psychology major requirements. Okay, and if you can see here, there's 5 specific major requirements that we need to complete for this major. We're going to focus on the lower division major core requirements there listed. One thing that you'll notice there for that first option is that we do need to complete 3 courses, and the audit is already letting us know the amount of courses that we need to complete. And then at the bottom, right after, you see that it has select from. So from select from, that basically means that these are the course options you have to complete that specific section. And again, in order to successfully complete this specific requirement, you will need to complete Psych 1, Psych 10, and Psych 15. So that will complete the requirement. In contrast, in the section 2, it gives information about the introductory course requirement. it tells us that the audit is letting us know that we only need to do one course from all of those selected course options. So although we have Anthro, Cognitive Science, Econ 1, PH 1, Poly 1, or Soc 1, you would only choose one to complete that specific requirement. And then we're going to go all the way to the bottom to intellectual experiences. So those are also general education courses that do need to be fulfilled by the time that you graduate. Again, one thing that's pretty neat about these intellectual experiences is that it's a total of 5. So we have ethics, scientific method, diversity and identity, global awareness, and sustainability. Those are all those intellectual experiences that are under and housed under those intellectual experiences. But like I was sharing, some major or general education courses that you choose from the top part of the audit might overlap or double dip, right, in those specific requirements. So it is important to learn a little bit more about how those courses can be completed. For instance, if you open up ethics, we can see that there is a specific link there. Again, we don't have to click on it, but you can click on that specific link and it will show you those specific courses that fulfill that specific requirement. And so that could be another great tool as you start planning for courses. And so this will conclude the part of the audit. We're going to go all the way to the top and load the plan. Now with the plan, again, this plan is really helpful because this is where you can start adding your courses and having a plan schedule that you would like. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new plan. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click the major and find, again, the same major we were looking at before, which is psychology with the health psychology emphasis. Okay, and then we're going to click again the catalog year 2020, 2024, 2025. We're going to go ahead and name the plan. And then once we name the plan, we can choose a term. And then that's going to be fall of 2024 because that's when you were admitted to UC Merced. And we're choosing 4 years because we want to know what's the course recommendations for 4 years until we graduate. And then we're going to go ahead and locate that plan. And then once we click on it, we can start editing that plan. And then what you'll notice once it loads is that we'll have 2 plans, one on the left side and one on the right side. So we'll let that load. Okay, so like I mentioned, on the left side, we have what we call the roadmap. So it gives you the information of all the different requirements that you would need to take for 4 years. So we scroll down on that left column there, you can see all of those courses that we would need to complete. And then on the right side, we call it the plan. So this is where you can start adding the courses in any of those specific semesters that are listed there. So for this presentation, we'll focus on the first term, so the fall semester 2024. And then we're going to open up that fall 2024 on the right side. On the left side, we can see that the course recommendations are Math 5, Psych 1, Writing 10, Spark or Spark 10, General Education Area A. So what we're going to do is we're going to start adding the first 2 courses, which is Psych and Spark. So what you'll notice that is in order for us to drag the course and drop it into the left side, we have to, get the course, and then we're going to go ahead and drag it and drop it into a blue box that's there. So in order for that to successfully enter in that specific semester, we have to drop it into that specific box. So then we're going to go back and we're going to go ahead and add Spark into that box as well. Let's go ahead and add Spark 1. Okay. And then, as I mentioned before in our previous slide, the recommended course would be Math 8 instead of Math 5. We are working on updating the plan, so hopefully you'll be able to see the updated information. But as of now, what we could do is we can add courses specifically to find that course. So we can actually go in there, type in that math, and then we're going to type in 008 and then click OK. And then what that does is that it's going to add that course into your schedule. And then the same thing would be for that writing one. So we're not seeing that again, but if you click on the course and then click on the course description, we can take a look at what the prerequisites are for writing 10. Again, so we have that dialog box that I was mentioning before. It gives you the information of the description, and then it gives you the prerequisites. So the prerequisite to take this course would be writing one, and then it's letting us know that it is available this fall semester. So we're going to go ahead and close that dialog box, and then we're going to type in that writing one into the add course section. And then once we have that, then we have a full schedule of 4 potential courses that we can register for when our time ticket opens. So it's a total of 16. So one thing that you'll note is that you can plan for many more units here. However, the registration system will cap you at 18 units. So it is important to note that, and also know that the plan is only a planning tool. So it's not, as we're adding this information into the system, it's not registering for courses. You still have to go into your Connect portal, find that time ticket, and register through My Registration to be able to successfully register for the courses that you planned. So again, this concludes the part of the demonstration for the plan. But again, you can definitely review this more in depth with your academic advisor during summer. And then we're going to go back to the presentation and talk a little bit about some summer opportunities that we have available. Okay, so we do have 2 summer programs. We have the Summer Edge program and then the Summer Bridge program. For the Summer Edge program, this is a free non-credit online program that is designed to help students prepare for college-level chemistry, computer science, math, and writing courses. Just note that the registration deadline is tomorrow, June 7. And then what's really cool about this program is that if you are planning to retake placement exams to get higher scores, you would need to complete the online program, but this would allow you to retake those placement exams. And then the other program, like I mentioned, is a Summer Bridge program. This is designed for students that are wanting to start college-level calculus, build resiliency, improve academic skills, and build community at UC Merced. And it gives you the opportunity to live on campus while you take the courses in Session C, and then return back home for a little bit and come back when fall semester begins. The courses that would be taught for this specific session would be Math 5, Spark 10, USTU 10 for a total of 7 units. You will be earning academic credit. So what this means is that by taking these courses, it will impact your academic GPA. Again, as you noticed throughout your slides, we do have those QR codes, so definitely scan those QR codes to learn a little bit more about summer programs here at UC Merced. And then we're going to continue on with the next slide with additional resources that you might be able to use already to help you navigate some questions that you may have. So the Student First Center, also known as SFC, provides information about admissions, financial aid, information about registrar, but it is a one-stop shop. So if you ever have any questions, you don't know where to start, you can always start at the Student First Center, connect with them, and they will help you with connecting you to a specific department, staff, or resource that can guide you and answer those questions that you may have. Also, the Office of the Registrar. So we do have that specific link there. I highly encourage you to learn a little bit more about this because there is common errors that occur during registration, and that is normal. But in order for you to learn how to navigate those registration errors, it can be helpful to learn a little bit more about those. We'll be available to assist you as well, but that can be a very great resource for you. And then also the Office of the Registrar can provide information about how to log into your Connect portal and our BAC page. So again, we have a lot of really great resources in our page. It's updated frequently, so you always have the most up-to-date information to guide you as you navigate your academic journey here at UC Merced. But specifically, we do have 2 videos, so chemistry and physics, 2 videos that can help you learn how to register for those courses. Usually chem, physics, and bio courses have different components that are required to successfully register for those classes. And it is a common registration error that we do get. So learning a little bit more about those videos can be very helpful. And then we also have the general education sheet that will give you a list of lower division coursework that you may be eligible for to take if you are looking at different general education courses to register for in fall semester. And then we do have the UCM online registration guidance. So if you scan that QR code, it's going to take you directly to the admitted student page. And that's a really great resource. It's going to take you to different tabs to help you navigate our registration system and learn more about that. Again, so you can scan that QR code to start learning a little bit more about registration. And like I mentioned, we're going to be there to support you throughout summer with questions that you may have. So for the summer academic advisors, we already started Zoom walk-ins. And those Zoom walk-ins generally are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11:30, and then from 1 to 3:30 p.m. Some of our times have been adjusted to accommodate some specific workshops. But if we do have any other adjustments because of other reasons that come up, just check your email daily, and then you'll be able to confirm if we're going to be available that date that you want to meet with us. Another way to connect with us is through email. So if you have any questions, let us know, and we can definitely answer those questions via email. Please note that we answer those emails during business hours. So that's Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then another great resource that students have access to is a peer advisor. So we do have 3 peer advisors that will be providing drop-in hours in person via Zoom, and then also workshops. So these are peers. So these are students that are currently registered as UC Merced students and can be a really great support to help you plan, but also connect with different resources on campus. And again, more information will be provided on when their drop-in hours and workshops will be available. So we'll definitely send that information out as we gather that information to provide to you all. And I just wanted to give you a glance of our awesome team, the Bobcat Advising Center academic team. So we have Kenya Alas, we have Dita Estrada, myself, and then we have Nora Garcia, Mai Chilor, Zhang Beng. And one thing that you'll notice is that we are supporting specific caseloads, and those are based on last names. So for instance, for Nora, she's currently assisting last names OSBNY. So if you are unsure of who your academic advisor is, you can refer to, this specific slide. Or also, you can also review your email as we send information on May 31st of who that advisor will be for summer, and that can provide support. In addition, we do have our BC peer advisors. So we do have Lisbeth, who's a senior psychology and sociology minor, Sophia, who's a junior cognitive science BS major, and Yamini, who's a senior economics BS major. And so one thing that's really cool is you can see all of the different things that they've been a part of or are a part of here at UC Merced. So you can connect with them. You have more questions on how to connect with those extracurricular activities, or what other activities can be a really great place for you here at UC Merced. And then we do encourage you to stay connected with us here at the Bobcat Advising Center. So we have a few QR codes there. The BAC Fall 2024 registration page would take you directly to, again, resources to help you register for courses and prepare to build that plan. And then also we do have our YouTube channel, and then our Instagram. So we provide a lot of content throughout the year. So we're going to be providing information to give you resources as you start your first year here at UC Merced. And then lastly is those 2 videos that I mentioned earlier, is how to register for that chem and then that physics. And then right now what we're going to do is we're going to stop the recording of this presentation. We do want to remind students that if you do have specific questions regarding, how to support you in summer, please connect with us. We do have Zoom walk-in hours that will start at 2:30 to 4 o'clock. So we can support you with those specific questions, but we're going to go ahead and stop the recording.